Are you trying to build your superfans? Or maybe you're just simply trying to find more ways to build rapport with your customers. Whatever the case may be, you're going to want to stick with me until the end of this video, because I'm about to go over 7 things I've learned when it comes to building customer loyalty. For over 5 years, I led the sales, marketing, and customer success teams of a VC-backed startup as we went from 0 clients to several thousand clients. One of my responsibilities was making sure that 90% or more of our customers stayed with us every single year. Needless to say, I've seen my fair share of what it takes to build a loyal base of customers. If you're excited to learn about the 7 things I've learned when it comes to building customer loyalty, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get new videos every single week. I'll take you from 0 to self-starter as we grow your business, get more customers, and hone your business acumen. As usual, I'm gonna leave timestamps in case you need to review anything we go over or jump around in the video. Without further ado though, let's go ahead and get started. The first piece of advice when it comes to building customer loyalty is to answer all of your messages within 1 business day, if not within a few hours. Nowadays, we have a couple thousand customers, but back in the early days, we had no customers. So one of the ways I decided I wanted our company to stand out in was in our service levels. That meant that if anybody had any questions before or after the sale, that we would strive to answer within an hour, if not a few hours, during regular business hours. Back in the early days, this meant often being on late at night when I had no other support, but as we began to scale, we started shifting towards a 1 business day approach. Whatever the case may be, the important thing here is to build the habit and the expectation from your customers that you are responsive and that you are ready to serve them whenever they have any potential issues. Today, I don't own any particular customer relationships, but I still have some customers from 5 or 6 years ago that still reach out to me every single year when it's time for their renewals because they know that they can get to me and they know that I can solve their problems within an hour. Build that sort of expectation in place and hold everybody on your team to that same standard. The second thing I've learned when it comes to building customer loyalty is to communicate the way your customers like to communicate. Early on, you want to ask your customers if they prefer to communicate with you via email, phone, text, conference, or whatever. And the main reason why you want to ask this is because you want to be able to leave a note in your CRM that takes note of their preferences. That way, when you actually need to get in touch with them later on for anything like a potential feature release, a renewal conversation, whatever the case may be, you're going to actually be able to reach them in the highest probability way. This varies very much by industry, but for industries in which you have an older demographic, you'll typically find that people like to communicate more via phone than via email. Whereas with a younger generation, they may prefer email communication over an actual conference call or phone conversation. I had a customer, for example, that preferred to dial into a Google Meet conference to share his screen, but then also dial in on his phone to connect with me. And the reason why was because he was in his 60s and he liked to have the assurance of knowing that in the case where his internet went out or for whatever reason he lost connection, he would still have me on the line via the phone connection. Whatever the case may be, the important thing is when you're trying to build your customer loyalty, you want to meet your customers at where they're at. The third thing I've learned when it comes to building customer loyalty is to recall past conversations and goals of clients. Make sure that you can show that you listen. The reason why is because clients are so used to being just sold something and then never hearing from you again, that when you show that you can recall small things from past conversations, you show that you're more than just a number or a contract to them. If you ever watched The Office, this is the reason why Michael Scott is so effective in his early days as the top salesman of the Scranton branch. It's because of the fact that he remembers the small things about his clients and brings them up later on when it's a low-stakes conversation. The reason why it's so important that we remember the goals that our clients set for us before the sale and bring them up constantly in the post-sale process is because it shows that we actually care about helping them meet their goals, and also it's where our entire value derives from when it comes to providing a product or service. So make sure you listen into what your customers say in those past conversations and bring it up frequently in your check-ins with them as well as later on in your renewal conversations. The fourth thing I've learned when it comes to building customer loyalty is to show your appreciation for your customers at least twice a year. There are a ton of ways to do so, and if you want to check them out, I have a video on how to say thanks to your customers, but it can be as simple as a quick video message, a handwritten thank you note, or a small token of appreciation. The keys to this step is to make sure that it doesn't come off as contrived or disingenuous. In other words, don't just send this to your clients a month or a few weeks before their renewal. It's helpful to do so typically a few weeks after they've been onboarded or when they've been a customer at a midpoint in their contract, just so that there's enough space between the next time that you're going to be asking for a potential sale. To help you with this, I recommend you take a step back and think about the last time that a company expressed appreciation for you, and think about what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you would have improved. The fifth thing that I've learned when it comes to building customer loyalty is to make sure that you are proactive when you're meeting your customers' needs. Reach out ahead of time when it comes to things like renewals and other key events in your customer success journey. This builds on the prior tip, but essentially you want to make sure that you are always thinking ahead in the interests of your customer. You should act like a fiduciary as much as possible when it comes to the responsibility of delivering the core value of what your product or service intends to do for them. This means whenever you think about a past conversation you've had, whenever there's a new feature that's released that could potentially benefit them, or anything that could potentially give them more value than what they're getting from you today, you should feel free to reach out to them. You may want to share something your marketing department put together that might teach them a new feature on your site, or just make sure that you're reaching out at least 90 days ahead of their renewal schedule so that they have ample time to loop in relevant stakeholders. From my experience, I have found that clients are super receptive to talking early about renewals when you give a friendly nudge halfway through their contract. From my experience, an easy way to lower your customer churn and open up some early renewals is to make sure that you reach out to your customers halfway through their contract just to remind them about initiating that conversation, and then also to send an email offering a couple incentives to open up an early renewal. This is an easy way for you to avoid some awkward or difficult conversations that would have happened at the end of their contracts just because you didn't check in with them. And it also makes it so that you have a lot of low stakes conversations that still allow you to build in some high value deals. The sixth thing I've learned when it comes to building customer loyalty is to follow through on the feedback that you've received. Back in our early days, I would always leave little notes for myself as to different pieces of feedback that I was hearing from both prospects as well as customers. And whenever our dev team put together a feature set that addressed that particular need, I would make sure that I reached back out to that group of customers that I left that note on, and then tell them about the fix that we had implemented for their particular issue. These users were honestly so surprised to hear back from me, and I think the reason why is because you and I and everybody else are so accustomed to companies having a feedback form and that feedback just not resulting in anything. Comment below if you agree with me that nowadays it's so uncommon for companies to actually listen to customer feedback. The seventh thing that I've learned when it comes to building customer loyalty is to make sure that you build a home for your superfans. As you get more and more superfans, you're gonna wanna create a place where people can embody your brand and share their love for your brand with others. One of the ways that we did this was after a few years when we had built up our client base, we created a certification process in which our super users could test their knowledge of the platform, and in exchange of getting certified, they would get promotional swag along with special invites for their friends that weren't already on our site and other early releases of features. It was a great way to engage our super fans in terms of feedback on new features that were in our product roadmap, as well as making sure that they felt like they were part of this building process of creating an awesome product. By creating a home for your superfans, you're creating a place in which they can connect with other people that love your brand just as much as they do, while also allowing them to champion your brand for you. It's a really easy way to create a win-win situation for everybody involved. Two of the easiest ways that companies do this today is through training or certification programs and workshops or affiliate programs. There are two things I want you to remember from this video. The first one is that going the proverbial extra mile really does make a big difference and is the easiest way for you to build extreme customer loyalty. And the second thing is that doing the small things make the world of a difference. If you can help your customers feel like they are interacting with a mom and pop shop, even if you aren't a mom and pop shop, it'll build customer loyalty like crazy. Now it's your turn. Tell me in the comments below what you've done in the past to build customer loyalty. Or after hearing about the things that I've learned, tell me what you're thinking about doing to build customer loyalty. Also, if you find it helpful, I've put together these tips as well as other customer success tips and tricks in a free download in the link in the video description below. Be sure to like this video if you haven't already. By doing so, you'll help more people find this video as well as this channel and help us grow our community of amazing go-getters. Also, feel free to share this with anybody that you think might benefit from learning how to build customer loyalty. Lastly, subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell to get new videos every single week. I'll take you from zero to self-starter as we grow your business, get more customers, and hone your business acumen. That's it for this time though. I'll catch you guys next time in which I'm gonna go over how to onboard your new clients. See you guys there.